Hi, it's Carrie Ann Malat from marketingmakesmesmile.com. Welcome to another episode of Social Media Mondays. Okay, I just have to tell you, I was going to write an article, but I had to make a video because honestly, I'm so irked. I can't even tell you. Okay, I'm going to try in this video. What we're going to talk about in this episode is the Super Bowl and how brands did things right and how brands did things wrong, and how you can use social media better and more effectively. Let's talk about, first of all, the Super Bowl. Okay, so in America, it's a huge tradition. It's a big game that we look forward to every year. And although this year I didn't really care about who was playing particularly, even though I am a big sports fan, it's really also about the advertising. And companies spend millions of dollars to purchase 30-second spots during the game because we know that millions of people are going to be there. They're going to be watching this broadcast, right? So I actually studied advertising and marketing in college. And one of my professors said to us one day in class, he goes, "How much do you think a Super Bowl ad costs?" And we didn't know. And he said, right now it's about $1 million for a 30-second spot. And this was back then. And we're like, whoa, that's so expensive. Why? Who would spend $1 million? That's probably the most expensive ad you can buy, right? And he goes, no, no, no. Actually, if you break it down and you realize what the reach is of this commercial and how many people are going to be viewing the ad, and then you look at the math and see how many people are going to be viewing the ad and the number of dollars you're going to be spending for the ad, it actually turns out to be one of the best deals in advertising, right? And so we're like, oh, that makes total sense because there's so many people that you're going to expose to this message, right? So now here we are in 2012, and brands have spent, it was almost $4 million for a 30-second ad spot in the Super Bowl this year. And there are companies who totally hit it out of the park. And then there are brands who spent that money who just, in my opinion, fell way short. And I believe that really that $4 million check that they wrote just kind of went down the drain. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I want to cover two things in this video. Number one, I want to cover the topic of reach and how many people are there. And second of all, I want to talk about what I think most people don't value yet in social media, and that is leveraging the topic of real time and the internet, and how there's a real time internet factor here that we have to pay attention to if you're going to use social media marketing for branding and advertising purposes. I'm going to talk about two brands today in this video that we saw participate in the Super Bowl. The first is Audi and the second is Lexus. Now, I am a sports fanatic as well as a car enthusiast, and particularly a luxury car enthusiast. Now, Audi, if you're remembering and you've seen the commercials, they're coming to your mind now. There was the one about vampires this year. It was clever, it was engaging, it was relevant, and it was funny. And so not only were all those things, but at the end, Audi included a hashtag. And the hashtag was used on Twitter that encouraged conversation about the brand, about the commercial, the storyline, etc. Now, what Audi did right, not only, first of all, having an engaging and clever commercial, but they were there showing up, tweeting from the Audi profile on Twitter. And that's huge because there's millions of people talking about their brand, or at least experiencing their brand. And there's millions of people on Twitter, and so many of them were right there on the front line with Audi, experiencing that commercial and experiencing the brand. And Audi did a great job of responding, of engaging with and responding to all the negative and possible bad tweets, as well as the positive tweets, and the level of engagement was high. Now, this is good. Now, Lexus, however, had an ad run as well a little bit later in the broadcast, and although it was beautifully produced, and I have friends who make commercials and they work really hard, and I know that this was a well-produced commercial, but it wasn't as engaging. It wasn't as clever, it wasn't as exciting, there wasn't a story, and here's the kicker. There was no social media strategy attached to that commercial. There was no hashtag at the end of it. There was no story that they encouraged you to continue the conversation with online via YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it may be. Now, this is what irks me. You're going to spend almost $4 million and you're going to write this check. And if it's me, I better see some return on my investment, right? Like, I want to know, what am I going to get out of this? Okay, so traditionally, you're going to get exposure. We got that. Normally, you're going to get reach. You got that. You're going to be in there with the big dogs and you're going to be competing. Okay, cool. But it's 2012. Social media gives you the opportunity to engage with and reaffirm relationships with potential customers, as well as buy new ones, get them into your relationship building mechanism where they will eventually consider buying a Lexus compared to an Audi or a BMW or any other company in your class. Now, here's where they missed the boat. There's millions of people showing up to watch the game. There's millions of dollars being spent on the ads. But there was nobody tweeting from inside that Lexus Twitter profile. In fact, they eventually started tweeting, and to date, like over the last several hours, as I kept checking, and just before I did this video again, they have tweeted 4 times. 4 times. In fact, when they ran the ad, I went quickly over and opened a new tab and looked at their profile page, and no one had said anything up until that day. There was nothing going on. 7 hours previously was the last tweet. And I was like, that can't be, because they just spent all this money on this ad. And then I looked at their bio, and the bio says, we're here to help you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Now, I don't know about you, but I mean, I'm working right now and it's like, what, 11 o'clock at night? Yeah. Okay, I'm working. You're a major brand and you spend millions of dollars and you can't show up for what you know is going to be a guaranteed conversation about you. So I don't understand this. And I know it's early and it's new to the game, and these strategies are completely new, right? This has never happened before where you could engage with your customers. But come on, Audi's doing it. They're doing a great job and they're hitting it out of the park. So I want to help everyone understand that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not being endorsed by Audi here, although when and if I do, I will make another video and let everybody know what I'm driving. But it's not even about that. It's about the fact this is a learning experience for brands and anyone using social media for marketing. There's an opportunity to capture your target audience in real time. And if you're going to make efforts to put your message out there into the advertising space, which now covers not just TV, but Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of these channels that anyone can participate in and advertise on, you've got to have a social media strategy behind it, and you've got to be available and open to answering questions, offering customer service, engaging with the customers, experiencing the brand with them, sharing it. And this is what makes social media powerful. You have a car purchase to make in your life, and that is not a small decision. So when a customer is going to be thinking about, should I buy a Lexus or an Audi or a BMW, they're going to remember certain things. And if they had an opportunity to experience and engage with the brand before, and maybe it happened today during the Super Bowl, that's going to stick with them. And that turns a prospect into a lifetime customer. So those are my examples today, and I know it's early, and I know brands are just getting on this bandwagon, but it's not a fad. It's not going to go away, and in fact, it's going to bring brilliant solutions to customers and corporations alike. So that's your episode of Social Media Mondays. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you online.